1. Hello and welcome back, guys, to the Golden Aegis cast series. I'm Chicago Ted, your host for this one. You sent in the replays, you've requested the broadcast, and here I am giving it right back to you. So, if you've checked out my previous videos, you know what this is all about. You know where my GoFundMe is. You know where all of that is. I still have it open. Not sure when I'll be taking it down, but I still accept requests if you so want to have your game casted. I will leave it in the description of the video. If you're watching it live, you can go check out the past videos for that link. As for right now, we've got a nice replay sent in. Is his name in the... His name is not here, so I can say it right now. Mr. Salmon sent in this replay. Thank you very much for the donation, man. Look forward to casting your game. So, without any more delay, let's go ahead and get this one rolling. I moved past the drafting phase, but I'll let you know what heroes we've got on a free camera. Let's go ahead.
Everybody
on the dire side, it's going to be exclamation on the Razor with Strike on the Phantom Assassin. Swerve MD is going to be playing the Magnus with Gypsy Danger on the Treon Protector. And last but not least, Cytotoxic on the Ursa. Meanwhile, for the Radiant, it's going to be Patima on the Nature's Prophet with Danil Ishutin on the Slark. Secret will be playing the Weaver. Hot Pot is going to be on the Witch Doctor. And last but certainly not least is Dota Playtime
30
on the
seconds
Blood
to
Seeker.
showtime.
So with 30 seconds to go, our lanes look a little awkward so far. We've got the Phantom Assassin and the off lane. And it looks like Slark running towards mid, but we still have a rune to pick up, so I'm not totally sure if that's what we're going to be seeing out of this game. But as far as who would be going, if the Blade Seeker wants the bottom lane, I can almost imagine that would make sense for the Slark to mid, but kind of like it the other way around most of the time. Cytotoxic and Strike will go ahead. They're battling it out for the rune, but it's going to be Cytotoxic the one to pick it up. Gypsy Danger finds the top rune, and both will be going towards the dire team. A very nice way to start out this game. A duel off between a Phantom Assassin and an Ursa. Now, that's something that I've never seen before. If I pull a little bit of theory crafting, the slows between the two of them, if you go for the Phantom Strike and the Earth Shock, could stack up and end up resulting in a couple of kills, especially if you were to go against a Bloodseeker, but it looks like not. In fact, it looks like they're against a solo Witch Doctor, as Bloodseeker has kind of been feeling a little bit misplaced here. He's in the mid lane, up with Slark. Neither one looking to give up this lane. Meanwhile, Secret should have a fairly simple time here. He's a ranged offlaner. Plenty of damage, too, against two melees. As long as he doesn't get hit by those shockwaves, he should be fine. Honestly, I think aside from the offlane, Radiant's lanes are a little weird, but this offlane should go very well for them. Meanwhile, Dire's, their mid and their bottom both are looking pretty decent, though they have to split up farm between these two cores. Again, they do have a little bit of synergy between the two of them, so should be a fairly interesting thing there. But now the Bloodseeker's made his way bottom. This should make it a little bit more interesting, but it also should make it a little bit easier for the Dire because now they have someone to slow. Gotta be careful, though, of that paralyzing cast that could really stack up on them if they're not careful. Speaking of, there it goes. 1, 2, 3. Decent chunk of damage going their way. Not quite sure, though, where we'll see the first blood. I don't think it's going to be in the mid lane just because Slark can just leap away from any real problems. But if he goes in, leaps in for the initiation, and doesn't have quite enough damage to follow it up, then I don't think he lives. Meanwhile, I think the bottom lane is going to be where we're seeing our first kill there. Either the bottom lane or the bottom rune spot. As it looks like Patima going for that bounty. Strike is there. Goes for the blink as well as the stifling dagger. But the slow, not quite a lot at level 1. As well as the... the slow is not a lot, but the duration's not a lot at level 1. And the damage also pretty lacking there, so... Not probably going to be able to find a kill. Cryotoxic, though, in a lot of trouble. Dota Playtime with the Thirst is able to get that extra little bit of move speed and finds the kill. Strike looking to try to make some vengeance happen, but
So much for diplomacy.
doesn't look like she's able to catch up. We'll have a Stifling Dagger and 10 mana because it's still level 1. In comes a rotation, though, from Exclamation. He's going for the plasma field, but doesn't connect on it. And Dota Playtime gets himself away. So the first blood definitely happening in the bottom lane, but not to the team that I expected. Cytotoxic taking an early fall in this one. Phantom Assassin, meanwhile, going for the early phase boots. Ursa not really looking for his boots just yet. Though I am a fan of the phase, I also really like the power treads for the extra attack speed there. We'll have to see, though, what he decides to go for. As Secret's been pretty much left alone to his devices against the Treant Protector, really resulting in a very easy lane for him. Where did Magnus go in all of this? Looks like he might be towards the mid lane, maybe trying to snipe a courier, otherwise trying to grab a kill onto Nilashuten, but he needs to be very careful here. He's running through the tier 1 tower, gets the skewer though, and Nilashutens in a little bit of trouble. They get the static link onto him, but he'll leap away as was expected and evades the gank. But Magnus will find a regen rune, so not really losing out on too much there. Back towards the bottom, you got TPN from Dota Playtime, makes his way back after that very initial engagement that happened. Still not really close to being able to get super aggressive on this one. He's evened up on par with levels of Strike and Co, but Secret, top, taking a little bit of harass, but able to get himself away. I mean, that's exactly what I expect out of these mid and top lanes, is the fact that they can just back themselves away. Bottom's not so lucky, but, you know, when in retrospect, they've got so much damage coming out. You have to imagine that Strike and Cytotoxic to be very careful about how they position themselves for these paralyzing casts, and Strike in a lot of trouble, but Cytotoxic's got his back. Not putting a level up in his slow just yet. Very interesting maneuver from him, but still a very good hero against the Bloodseeker in general. You get a Blink Dagger and you just kind of right-click him down. Drop your ulti, his rupture doesn't do anything. If he tries to rupture you out of position, you ulti, you walk away. Or just man fight him and kill him in a second or two. That works too. So as it stands right now, 5 minutes. We've already had our first blood, but after that, not much else. Both sides able to farm up pretty passively. 25-0 on our Nature's Prophet, our top farmer in the game. Both lanes, both safe lane carries, I guess, if you were to call anyone a carry. And that would be the Bloodseeker and the Magnus, I guess, are both lacking pretty significantly in their farm. Sub 20 CS at 5.5 minutes for the person that you've sent to this lane to farm is not good at all. It's even in the mid lane. I mean, we're looking at sub 20 CS on both of these guys. This is really painful as far as gold and experience goes. I mean, okay, not experience, but as far as the gold goes, Razor's doing a pretty good job at denying, though. That is one thing that you can definitely take out of this lane, is that he's got the denies under control, and that's really gimping out Nilashuten a lot. I mean, we're looking at a level 6, almost level 7 versus almost level 6 on the Slark. That's a huge level of disparity. So maybe we see the fight happening top. It's going to be a blood raid on the ground. Cytotoxic, though, has a living armor, bringing him back up to a reasonable amount of HP. Meanwhile, Strike, with a double damage, has 2 points in the Stifling Dagger, 2 points in the Blink. That's about it. Secret going into Gypsy. There's no living armor. He's going to go ahead, Scoochie up forward, but the Leech Seed keeping him really healthy. And now Secret time-lapsing back a little bit late, losing so much HP because of it. One more shockwave would all be enough, but 2 seconds before it's off cooldown. And Secret gets himself away. Almost surprised that our Nature's Prophet didn't TP in to help him out with that one. He's got the Bassi, not much damage, I guess. Going for that Hand of Midas, he would have definitely had it had they gotten the kill there, though. The bottom lane still pretty slow, but Nilashuten maybe wants to turn this one into a kill here as he makes his way all the way down. No way to spot him out. He's still in his ultimate. He could go for the leap here under Strike. If he can connect it, the leash would be great. But he moves to the jungle. They both are right up next to each other, and the leap definitely coming out. Now an overpower on the Toxic, helping him get that extra attack speed. Nilashuten, he has leap finally. They bring down Cytotoxic, but Dota Playtime's in a lot of trouble. Strike, he's got the Phantom of Strike, he's got the Stifling Dagger, and he'll bring him down. Nilashuten, though, looking for the return kill. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the leap to bring him down. Nilashuten with a double kill there. not even having to spend his ultimate. Leaves the lane, gets a good amount of experience from it, but Exclamation in the middle lane is still farming up pretty well with a good amount of experience to his name as well, even though he didn't get the double kill. And so I imagine his net worth would be a little bit less. Actually, it's still a lot more. Well, because the CS is buried. Okay, fine. He's got 28 last hits. I didn't see that Slark only has 6. And meanwhile, Weaver going down to the Magnus up top. Up. Okay, 2 Sentry Wards. That explains a lot. In fact, you know what would explain it even more?
The seeds of fortune.
This. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Interesting kill there. Did have time lapse, but wasn't quite able to get it off. And that'll be a quick and easy kill going the way of Magnus. And Weaver, the hero that I thought would be able to get away really easily, just wasn't quite able to do so. So Exclamation Point in the mid lane. Maybe sees a little bit of pressure here as Dota playtime. Still level 5, not even level 6. Cannot get the Rupture off even if he wanted to, so it'll just be a passive game from here on. Cytotoxic with 2 points in both Overpower and Fury swipes. Could definitely go after Roche right now. 1 point in Fury, more point in Fury swipes, and it would be almost guaranteed. Courier, though, gets spotted. 1 swipe, not even going to be able to get it as Weaver will bring down the Tree Protector on top. But it's Anil. He wants more. He finds Swerve. Maybe leaps into the high ground, but nope. The skewer away gets our Magnus out of the fray. So Strike will go back down, farming up as fast as he can. Still only 11 CS at 9 minutes, just over. 20 CS to Cytotoxic. That's 30 last hits in total over the course of these, the 9.5 minutes. Still pretty lacking in terms of farm. In the mid lane, though, we've got Exclamation Point. Again, might see a little bit of trouble, but still no level 6 on their Bloodseeker, which means, again, Rupture just doesn't give him that option to get aggressive. Seeker is going to go back up top, looking to get back to farming. He's got the power treads. Now, typically, a Weaver will go for the Lincoln Sphere, but lately it's been a better idea to start building either into more damage or straight into some stats and leave the Lincoln Sphere out, though we can take a look at what exactly they have for the Lincoln Sphere. And a Stifling Dagger. Oh, hold on, the mid lane's going to be the new issue, and they've got the the RP out onto him. They keep vision of him through that static link. He's doing little to no damage here, and now he's got to run. Leaps himself away, and he'll be fine. But in the bottom lane, it looks like someone was not so lucky. Cytotoxic will go down to Patima. Meanwhile, Strike turning around to Dota playtime, but the latter gets the kill. Bloodseeker showing his, baring his teeth. Top lane, Secret wants a kill, but there's going to be a Living Armor and what seems to be an Overgrowth, keeping him from grabbing that one. And Swerve makes his way up top to try to dissuade Weaver from diving in any further. There's going to be a skewer. Shockwave may be out, but it's off the mark, and Secret gets himself away. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Danila shooting, grabs the kill onto Exclamation. Static Link being on cooldown, it seems. And a whole lot of action in that 9 minutes. So just like that, the Radiant pulling ahead with a pretty significant margin. They grabbed themselves a 3,000 net worth lead, about a 4,000 experience lead. And the bottom lane, they might even get more. Patima hits himself with the Sprout, but it looks like the Phantom Assassin isn't quite able to spot him out. Meanwhile, Skewer comes in. They wanted the Skewer Shockwave combo, would have killed him, but wasn't quite able to find it. And now Cytotoxic in a lot of trouble to leap forward. One more swipe, and Danila shooting will grab another kill. This is a dominating spree on the Slark, who had just 6 CS at 8 or so minutes, now with 11, but CS, I guess, doesn't matter at this point, as he's got 4 kills on his name.
Dire's mid towers.
It's the mid-tier 1 in a little trouble, taking a lot of damage. Paralyzing Cask and a Death Ward comes out. Hot Pot taking a lot of damage. A Skewer back, pushing Dota playtime. A Rupture out on the Swerve, and Dota playtime runs himself away. Exclamation, maybe looking for a Plasma Field. 1 second. Gonna throw it out, but no, he gets it! Right on the edge there. 400, 500 gold going his way.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
And a very, very interesting kill. There's going to be an RP locking Dilishu, and he does not have his Shadow Dance, so he will go down. A dominating spree that we just mentioned, going the way of Gypsy Danger. And the mid-tier 1 will also be not long for this world, as Fatima and Secret are looking to trade tier 1s, and they should get it. So both tier 1s falling, but Dire still at the disadvantage as they've lost their tier 1 bottom already. Fatima and Secret, though, hanging around, looking for a little bit more after this tier 1. Fatima will be able to spawn more trees in 30 seconds, but it's not going to make a difference, as it looks like they're going to get pushed out of this lane very soon. Exclamation runs forward, falls to the walls here, but has to back himself away. Cryotoxic does not have anywhere near a blink just yet. And the rest of the maneuvering units meander on in, but a little bit too late for the action. So I'm expecting Roshan to be taken out very soon. Cytotoxic could definitely grab it, but needs to get himself full mana and smoke himself in. They don't even have a ward, so he doesn't even need to smoke, but it's better safe than sorry 9 times out of 10. Looks like, though, he's hanging back. Maybe now he makes his way down. Doesn't... I think... No, he will have enough mana to take it out. He'll be able to pop 4 overpowers by the time he goes in, but nope, he doesn't end up going for it. In the top lane, Danil backs himself away with the Shadow Dance. Dota Playtime running after it with the living armor, protecting Exclamation, and Dota Playtime getting way too aggressive there. Meanwhile, Danil doesn't get spotted, but is kind of just dancing with death right now, as if he gets spotted out, he could be in a lot of trouble now. With a Shadow Amulet, has a little bit more to his name. He's going to go ahead and lay into Gypsy Danger, getting a lot of stacks on his agility. The more he gets, the better. Gypsy trying to punch him down. Secret's made his way in, though, looking for another kill. RP grabs both of them. In comes the PA. Could they get both? It looks like they'll get one. Hot Pot goes in with the Death Ward, but isn't able to focus it on the right unit. Exclamation, though, taking a lot of damage. Not quite enough, and Hot Pot, well, it looks like he'll go down. He gets the Maledict off, and Secret's going to make use of this one, but isn't quite able to close the distance with his Scoochie. And comes Dota Playtime, though, looking for the kill. Will end up grabbing it. Little bit of revenge for what just transpired. And that'll be the only other kill for this fight. Fatima, meanwhile, making something happen in the bottom lane. Gets a good amount of damage out in the tier 2 bot. In fact, he might actually bring it down. Cytotoxic is still back. It's got no way to close the distance. Even Gypsy Danger isn't quite able to get in close. But Fatima now, she's still going for it. Exclamation comes in, a Sprout on the Gypsy. And he's going to go ahead, hit himself up with the Shadow Amulet and TPs himself away. And they know it. Static Link breaks. As the mid-tier 2, or the bottom tier 2, will end up dropping here. Gets denied, but it's still a tower down. And still a lot of map control. I mean, that kind of opens up or closes up the Roshan for the Dire to take. They still have a lot of map control by the lack of wards, the lack of vision in this area, though. And I'm really surprised that Ursa has not gone for it yet, but I guess to each his own style in this case. Fatima, meanwhile, pushing out best he can in the top lane. 15.5 minutes, the Shadow Amulet and the Hand of Midas, treating him pretty well. Looking for that Shadow Blade to allow him to split push almost freely. At the risk of the enemy buying sentries and dusts, which would gimp their support farm just a little bit anyway. So Ursa, Cryotoxic, and Exclamation down here in the bottom, but in comes Dota Playtime. He's got a Rupture should he want to spend it. But Hot Pot's going to be the one to try to bait it out. Cryotoxic and Exclamation, though, they aren't. No, they turn around, they go back in. There's going to be a Maledict. Cryotoxic taking a lot of damage, enrages, and gets a lot of HP from it. Or at least is able to sustain a lot from it. But it looks like he'll still go down in the end. And Secret might grab another kill here. Both of them will drop. In the meantime, though, there was a kill on the Nature's Prophet. As he gets a little bit too far out of position, tries to push the top tier 2 tower, and gets punished by Strike. In fact, let's take a look at this Paradox Memorial. 236 damage onto him. Definitely I should have practiced more. Okay. Mid-tier 1, still standing, but could be the next target for the Radiant to bring down. Danil, though, close by, looking for some kills. Maybe someone walking up onto the high ground unawares. Dire Observer Ward spotting out Roshan, but still no attempt being made.
Oh, good.
A golden thread.
Meanwhile, Fatima back up to the top lane. He's got the Shadow Amulet. He's not close to the tower this time, so he can just go ahead and Shadow Amulet himself away. Meanwhile, Danil waiting in with the Shadow Amulet of his own, looking for some kills here. Spots Cryotoxic, spots Gypsy
Dire's
Danger,
mid-tower's
in comes
having
Secret.
Technical difficulties.
But it looks like they both backed themselves away. So just like that, 11-9 at 17, 18 minutes. And we're looking at Radiant pulling a decent little advantage here. 3,000 gold, 2,000 experience. But it's nowhere where it could be for the moment. And I mean, they've been standing around a lot, kind of holding on to their items, not really
Dire's top
pushing,
tower,
pressing, farming
you know
for
the
more.
drill.
There are lots of objectives that are even open to them right now, but
Double damage.
they're opting not to take them. And instead, they make their way back, farming what lanes they can, using the buddy system here as Danila shooting, goes to the leap, finds Cryotoxic, but immediately they enrage himself up. There's going to be a Leech Seed, keeping a vision of him or keeping an idea of where he is. He's got the Shout Dance anywhere. They have absolutely every idea where he is, and tries to go for the leap, blocked, and he will go down in the bottom lane, maybe biting off a little more than he can chew there. Meanwhile, Hot Pot and Fatima going after that tier 1 mid. As a Rupture comes out, but there is the RP. Only grabs Hot Pot. They skewer him back, but it doesn't look like they've got much to bring him down as they go for the chase. Now there's the Leech Seed. Cryotoxic is chasing back onto him, but they've got a Shadow Amulet. They spent it on him. He walks right out of it, though. And Cryotoxic can't quite get the stomp. They also pop the Overgrowth and miss it as well. The Hot Pot now looks like he'll go down. Finally, Fatima and Dota Playtime maybe getting a little over-aggressive, trying to help their little buddy. But they'll both get away in the end. Danila shooting, comes back in. Now Cryotoxic goes down, throws the air shot, connects. But in comes Exclamation. Dota Playtime's in a lot of trouble. If he goes down here again, this could be trouble. Exclamation, though, with the Eye of the Storm going down, getting a little bit of minus armor. There's going to be another Shadow Dance in there. Danila shooting. But Exclamation is not going to let him get away without a fight. Goes for the Plasma Field, grabs 2 with it! Not sure what Dota Playtime was quite doing right there.
Somebody's on a roll.
Seeker will go ahead and grab a return kill, but it's a 3 for 1 effectively. And meanwhile, Strike goes for what he can, but can't quite find a kill. Exclamation making his way back in, turns around into Strike. There was a Phantom Blink, or a Blink used, but it's back up in 1 second. He could go, oh wait. Looks like he'll TP out, get himself away. Fatima, meanwhile, very low on the top lane. Kind of an interesting tidbit for him. He's going for the Desolator, though, which will help him push down the towers. Not so much the waves. I mean, it pushes it a little faster, but if you want to go for wave clear, you go for something like a Maelstrom. For the tower, though, the Desolator is definitely top items, especially after its cost nerf. A little bit of a cost nerf that it got not too recently. And so, he'll be able to finish it up. Danila shooting, goes to the leap, will miss it. Continues chasing, though. He wants blood, but the Static Link comes out. Immediately drops into Shadow Dance to try to protect his hide. Meanwhile, Ursa will definitely go for Roshan. Has 4 points in Overpower, 4 points in Furious Wave, so he should be able to just directly take it. But it still is pretty good practice to try to go for the dancing trick, walking back and forth. But he's able to take it. Again, having 4 points in each opens up a lot of room for you. Meanwhile, bottom lane, it looks like a TP out comes from our Nature's Prophet here. Not quite able to bring him down. Fatima now will go to the top lane and start to push out to tier 2 top again. It's not about 7/8 HP, so he's got a pretty long road ahead of him, but the more pressure he can exert, the better. Meanwhile, Dota Playtime and Hot Pot are by the Roche pit. The Roche is already gone, so they can't quite do anything about it at this point. And Ursa, with the phase, with the Vlads, could be going for a blink next. As Swerve, up towards the top lane, has a blink of his own, but it's getting cancelled by these Treants. So isn't quite able to find find Fatima. Meanwhile, Danila's shooting, maybe getting a little over-aggressive again. He goes and turns around immediately. But they've got the plasma field, the skewer not pulling him back. They've got a dust, though. They RP him. They static link him. They bring him down.
What did you expect?
Very aggressive play from this Slark. Not even able to finish up his Shadow Blade yet. That's kind of when you want to start fighting. Not when you've got a Shadow Amulet, but when you've got that full Shadow Blade. Crowd Toxic taking a little bit of damage from the Death Horde, but not going to die to it. Though the Paralyzing Cask securing that extra little bit. And so Dire can try to push their ways out once again. Their tier 2 mid and their tier 2 top still relatively healthy, but Patima's back up there again, looking to continue this push out. And he's got a Shadow Blade if he wants to straight up just buy it right now, but he's going to just go in, do what he knows best, and not really worry about the items just yet. Now there is
Dire's top tower's getting beat
a living
down.
armor out on this tower, healing it back up, and Patima's doing very little to no damage now. Swerve comes in, Patima's in a lot of trouble. They've got the damage to bring him down, and they should just bring him straight down. Even a Leech Seed, just to say, stay out. Meanwhile, the Radiant will go ahead and defend their own tier 2. They don't have the living armor on their side, but they do have plenty of counter push. And Secret looks like he may have wanted to try to go in a little bit for a kill, but both Exclamation and Cytotoxic back themselves out. Now as a Desolator completed onto the Weaver, so 2 Desolators on the Radiant side. Means they can split push very effectively, but they're not quite doing so just yet. Dire doing a fantastic job at defending their objectives here. Did end up taking that Roshan, as was mentioned. Cytotoxic, where's he on the realm with the Blink Dagger? Still not getting close to, or still not quite at it. He is getting close, though. Hot Pot in a little bit of trouble. They're going to skewer him back, get him with a Shockwave. They're stealing all this damage from him, but it's a Witch Doctor. Where it really matters is the fact that Exclamation is getting so much from it. He's got about 100, 200 damage now. And Secret, he's got the Desolator, but he's taking so much from this. In comes Patima, though. Could end up helping out a lot more. Swerve goes in, though, with the Shockwave. We'll go ahead and bring down Dota playtime. Meanwhile, Exclamation, he's got a lot of HP, tanking through Danila's shooting, but will finally go down. Patima now, with the Sprout and the Gypsy Danger, will go ahead and secure his death as well, making it a 3-4-2 at the time right now. And pretty useless teamfight recap there. I don't even want to try anymore. Every single time I open the teamfight recap, it hasn't been giving the entire teamfight just a little 1 or 2 deaths each time. Patima, meanwhile, back up to the top lane, back up to farming. Now he's got the Shadow Blade this time, but if he gets skewered back under tower, it's not going to help him out at all. Meanwhile, Cytotoxic has his Blink Dagger at the ready, but with a Shadow Blade and no dust, he shouldn't get this kill. He might still go for it, though. Just waiting for the opportunity. Goes in, hits himself with the Overpower, and Patima Shadow Blades away. Pretty much expected. Meanwhile, the actual kill happening is Danila shooting, going ahead and bringing down Strike on the Phantom Assassin. Quick and easy kill for the Radiant there. And that, well, that might secure a little bit of pushing advantage for the Radiant as they can go ahead and go after either this top tier 2 or the mid. They're both very healthy, though, of courtesy of the living armor, but looks like Radiant not really going for the objectives here. Even though they're close by, even though they have the man advantage, in comes Swerve, goes for the Skewer, will miss it. So Skewer is on cooldown for a pretty hefty amount of time. But they'll back themselves off and go straight back to farming. Meanwhile, Secret, up on the top, with that Desolator. Double damage as well, is just blowing up these creeps in no time at all. If he gets close to this tier 2 tower, he could drop it down to half, though I'm not sure he'd be able to bring it down. Especially with the living armor. If they create enough space across the map, then maybe they will. An immediate TP in, though, comes from Strike, but I'm not quite sure he can do anything about it. Immediately goes for the crits, and Strike is actually taking so much damage. Secret brings him down. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Cytotoxic will find a kill, but he's ruptured underneath his own tier 2 tower. The Enrage helping him out a lot. Danila shooting is on the run. But all the while, Patima is back up to the top lane, pushing out this tier 2 tower as Danila shooting is being chased by the entirety of the Dire team. And Patima, he's backing off. Okay, spawns his creeps and then goes right back into the fray. He should get this tower. Living armor will only prevent it from going down for a short amount of time. Danil creating so much space right now. Might just end up going down anyway. But well worth it at the time being. No! Dire, they're going to go ahead and dive the tier 3 past the tier 2 as Patima brings down the tier 2 top.
Radiant's mid towers get
And just
banged
splitting
up.
the fight so much.
Breaking down the
As in
radiant
comes
structures
Secret,
like this.
looking to find a kill on the swerve, doing a lot of damage with the living armor, helping him out a lot.
Them dire
Patima
buildings are
pushing
tough
up
as
to the
nails.
high ground now.
Dire's top
There
tower,
is
you know the
defense
drill.
in the form of Strike. He is there. Does he have a Battle Fury yet? He does, so he should be able to counter push really effectively. But back towards the middle. Cytotoxic in a little bit of trouble. The leash will not connect onto him, but he is getting hit by the paralyzing cast. Lots of damage from Danilo shooting as he steals up all that agility, but now losing it all to the static link as he's now got negative damage. In comes the Wrath of Nature, though, will bring down Cytotoxic. The Rupture onto Exclamation, who's got an extra 181 damage. But it's not going to mean much if he can't quite bring down anyone
what's
in
happening
particular.
to Dire's
Rupture will
top
end.
tower.
Exclamation gets himself away. But it looks like Radiant are in close by, and they want to take another objective. Patima pushing out the bottom lane. The rest of his team pushing in through the mid. And this should be at least one tower going down. Where it goes down, probably the mid-tier 2, but got to be very mindful of what's happening here. Patima will go out, make his way to the top lane, so that opens that up.
Dire's mid tower.
Danilo
needs a
shooting,
little
meanwhile,
help.
continuing to push the mid-tier 2, but it looks like it might not even go down. Weaver, not pushing with this team, ends up missing an opportunity to bring down a quick and easy tower. Danilo will get himself away, courtesy of the Shadow Blade, but still. Very unfortunate they weren't able to bring down that extra little hunk of gold there. Even Patima could have made his way and they could have had it, but looks like opting not to go for it. They could end up going for Roshan in a minute and a half, but that's a decent amount of time that probably won't make a difference, at least for the next fight or so. And they'll go back again, go back to farming, getting themselves some extra gold, but our net worth right now, we're at 14,000 net worth is our max at 30 minutes. Danil makes his way up top, trying to find a kill, but again, this over-aggressive, he gets immediately critted! They've got the RP, they've got the skewer, they've got the shockwave, they'll bring him down! Oh, man. That immediate crit was so unfortunate. But at the same time, I mean, you open yourself up to that whenever you go in like that as a Slark. If you find someone in the jungle, go for it. If you find someone pushed out way in the lane, go for it. But that close to the enemy's base. So, in the long run, Slark will end up going down. Secret continuing to farm here. Wants a Daedalus or an MKB, whichever he's going for. Imagine it's the latter. But the Radiant jungle being occupied by the Radiant as they want to go ahead and get all they can. There's going to be a Sanjin Yasha completed by the Bloodseeker. Cryotoxic with that blink. Not much else. He's got the Rover Club. Maybe looking for a BKB here. It's going to be a paralyzing cast, but the invisibility is taken by Cryotoxic. Make his way back into Roshan, and it just spawns back up. He knows it's up. But he also knows that they're probably going to check it. Cryotoxic goes in towards the mid lane. Maybe he wants Hot Pot here, but he's got to be careful with all of the Radiant close by. So it looks like he's going to go straight on back to Roshan. Maybe try to grab it, or maybe not. Danilo shooting, we'll go for the check. This is, I guess, smart plays from Cryotoxic, not grabbing that Rosh when the Radiant are checking it so often. Dire, though, they'll group up in the mid lane. They want to try to find their fight here. Make whatever advances they can out of this game. Strike has got the Basher, so he's looking pretty good on his farm. Cryotoxic, though, with that Invis being revealed, makes his way back up onto the high ground and back up to the safety of his team. And no engagements will come out of this.
The Dire's courier took a trip to the
So,
old family
in the
farm.
meantime, where did that go down? I have no clue. Went down in the secret shop. Alright, so Dire's courier going down, not really carrying anything. The Meanwhile, Cytotoxic in a little bit of trouble. They've got the Death Ward coming out. A lot of damage, but he's hit 1 or 2 more times, and it cannot quite do so. Meanwhile, the kill happening, Secret being taken down elsewhere as Danilo shooting. He actually goes straight on in, finds the Ursa, and now they might find Swerve. Goes in a couple more procs of Essence Shift, but isn't quite able to keep him in one place. Gypsy Danger with the Aghanim Scepter is going to start getting some trees out. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Fatima getting way too over-aggressive with these pushes will get brought down, brought to justice. And Gypsy Danger not really using that Aegis just yet. Could be putting trees on the ground, but holding on to them for now. We'll have to see what he does, though, and how he covers this map with his trees, because you could get a lot of farm out of this one. Yep, he'll make his way out and start warding up the map. Unfortunately, this time he created it right underneath an observer ward, so if anyone has a Quelling Blade or any way to bring down that tree, they know that that one's warded. They'll go after Gypsy Danger, though. Couple of swipes, and Gypsy, I mean, one more attack is all they require, and they will get it. The Thirst, making sure that he cannot go into invisibility there. So, quick and easy kill. They don't end up de-warding the tree. But what's this? Is this a Quelling Blade? No, it's not. So they're not going for the Quelling Blades. They're not going for the Tangos or anything. Okay, they got one on Bloodseeker, but we'll see if they end up going after and getting rid of it there. They know that Roshan's just walking into the Roche pit. Pops is enraged really early there. Not sure. You kind of want to wait until your Fury Swipes are doing a lot more damage than that. But he's making quick work of this Roshan. I think Bloodseeker can get there fast enough, but no! They're not going for it. They're pinging it out. They know he's doing it. But they're not going to go and stop him. Couple more swipes and he's got this. Not sure why he goes for the Earth Shock there, but 2 more swipes. The bash comes through. Danila Shuin's waiting. Another bash. Cytotoxic. He can't get this in time. He'll go for it. Wants the Aegis, but cannot do so. The bash is from Roshan.
Immortality.
Oh, very unfortunate coming out from the for the Dire here.
About that bottom tower.
As Danil is able to go in and grab the Aegis, or at least Dota play. No, who got the Aegis? Was it Fatima? Oh no, it was Secret. Okay, Secret grabs the Aegis and they can push off that one. Fatima's Treants having a little bit of trouble facing some resistance in the bottom lane, but the mid lane could be the one where they end up able to push here. Secret taking out some creeps, going for it. Danilo Shuin, though, playing very aggressively once again. He's got a couple of javelins. He's going to make his way into Gypsy Danger. Goes for the initial hit. Now with the leash, doing some decent damage. And pops him. Will he get him into thirst range? It looks like he will. So even if Gypsy Danger goes invis, he can't get away. And Danilo Shuin finally grabs the kill. But an RP will make the turnaround. As it looks like Dot Radiant are not going to go for that mid-tier 1 tower, mid-tier 2 tower. Instead, taking a step back again. As it looks like I got a pause or a disconnect. If we pause up, we can immediately skip over it. And it looks like, yes, we do. Curse me, though, that I've left this up. Oh, God. Still paused. Still paused. Let's go back. There we go. So the push in the top lane gets immediately halted. The mid-tier 2 takes little to no damage. Nothing that the Treant can't heal right back up. That tree did get taken down by the Roche pit, so that's gone. And Fatima might also be facing a little bit of trouble now, as Cytotoxic is making his way in. Does he have any dust? He does. So if he spots Fatima, if he knows where he is, if he spots the dust right now, he'd have it, but he doesn't. Gets close, but as the saying goes, close but no cigar here. Exclamation. Meanwhile, will find himself an Aghanim Scepter with that Sanjin Yasha. He's got plenty of HP, plenty of stats to keep himself alive and dropping down that amazing Eye of the Storm throughout the fight. Meanwhile, Secret might be in a little bit of trouble, but Strike does not quite have the damage to bring him down. Secret will find a regen rune. Doesn't quite need it, but he'll use it anyway. And now getting closer and closer to that Monkey King bar as he so desperately needs to bring down heroes like Strike. Meanwhile, Dire, again, farming themselves out. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4 units, 5. I mean, only one's farming out of everyone on their team. Their entire jungle is gone, though, so I guess that makes a little bit more sense, but they have 2 waves that they could try to be pushing out that they're not. Meanwhile, Radiant positioning themselves. Danila shooting with a very aggressive positioning once again. Who's he going to find, though? Looks like there's 3 that want to go for the fight. Toxic, Gypsy, and Exclamation, but they're not going to go into it. It looks like Danil getting spotted out in the dire jungle here. Swerve hanging in close. Knows what he can get away with here. Gypsy Danger's invisible. Trying to run away, and I mean, they've got no idea he's there. Maybe they do have an idea, but they don't quite know exactly where he is. They don't have any sentry wars. They don't have any gems or anything like that. His positioning is completely unknown to them. Danil, though, his positioning, he could try to find a kill if he finds him, but him as well has no idea where that Treon is. Patima defending his bottom tier 1 tower with his trees, that nice fancy Desolator with the red right clicks here. He's going for the Necronomicon again for these quick tower pushes, but he needs to get close to a tower, and for that, his team needs to win a fight. We'll see if they have it in them, though. It looks like Hot Pot's going to go in, start it out with a paralyzing cast, but nothing else on from it. He gets in a little bit too close. Necronomicon has his own, though, there's a pop by Patima. Hot Pot getting himself away. Toxic going back behind the fight, blinking in onto Hot Pot. Will bring him down, but goes down himself underneath the tier 2 tower. Exclamation's also doing very poorly right now. It's getting bursted down by this tower. Dota Playtime spots him, sees him, the leap, they'll grab him. Meanwhile, Swerve trying to get away, but they've got the movement speed, they've got a Rupture, RP, but Swerve is as good as dead. TP's out, can he get it in time? He will not. So 3 dead for 1. Hot Pot valiantly fighting for that. A level 2. Necronomicon coming out in the meantime. As once again, Gypsy Danger's just being a nuisance in the enemy jungle, getting trees up everywhere. And keeping the vision out and about. Danila shooting. Will be good just to push out some waves here. Nothing fancy. Patima also doing some pushing, but neither one is really able to find anything off of it. Patima's going to go on to Gypsy Danger, but the high ground mischance is being his worst enemy right now. A Wrath of Nature comes through, but not quite enough damage to really make a difference. And Strike now will come in. Do they have any vision? Does Strike have a dust? They do not. He'll TP himself out of there. Looked like it was a TP and a global teleport, but obviously it was not. So now Patima back to the bottom lane. The mid lane taking a lot of damage. It looks like they'll get it. So the mid tier 2 finally going down. The Dire now a little bit on the back foot. Need to try to defend this as long as possible. There's going to be a Rupture going down on this Gypsy Danger. In comes Strike, though. Goes out for Dota Playtime, but he's moving way too damn fast. Can Danila shoot and turn this one around, though? They've got the crit from the dagger, and Strike finds the kill. Meanwhile, Danil underneath the sentry ward will get himself trapped, not really in the trees, but he does get himself away. Meanwhile, Secret looking for an exclamation point, doing a lot of damage between the double damage and the Desolator, but it's not quite enough to bring down the Razor here. Meanwhile, Patima in a little bit of trouble. Strike is just laying into him. Bash, 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 but not quite able to bring down the kill. And he'll TP himself away. And I guess that's why it looked like he was TPing. That's a bit of an odd animation there. Leap in. Will pull down Strike. Gets the leash onto him. And Secret just laying in. He gets RP'd though. And now the Death Ward comes out. Doing some damage to Swerve. Might bring him down. It looks like it will. As Danila Shuin will get away. Cytotoxic also in a little bit of trouble. But they do not have the Maledict onto him. So he will get himself away. But a 2 for 2 is what it ends up sort of being there. Patima in through the bottom. Maybe tries to make something happen off this push, but the problem with the Nature's Prophet is he's known for chipping away constantly at towers, but the fact that Nature's Prophet or Treon Protector can just heal them right back up makes his pushes relatively useless. In the end, they end up just being extra CS for the enemy team. As exactly you can see here, gold for nothing right now for the Razor. Exclamation point. Very happy to be putting that one in his pocket. This looks like it might be an Agnum Scepter completed. It is an Agnum Scepter on Patima. So he is making creeps every which way, pushing them all in at once. Meanwhile, Danil is shooting back and away from Cytotoxic, who's continuing to chase. There is a dust, but Danil, not slowed down one bit, is just running himself away. And 600 damage coming out from that last will, but it still is 200 gold. That's a lot to give away. So Nature's Prophet, again, just giving away all of this gold. 400 for the entire Necronomicon. That bounty is massive.
Invisibility.
What are we looking at for Roshan, by the way? It looks like our timer's a little bit broken here. But I imagine with the Aegis down, all that down, imagine he's back up very soon. Just wonder when he went down. I guess, oh, that's not good. Regardless, Roshan, whenever he's back up, they might just go for it. But in the meantime, pings come out. A little bit of a push up top. Again, that Wrath of Nature creating Treants constantly pushing these waves in. And Treant Protector, I mean, his overgrowth can help push these waves out if he can grab them, but it's very difficult for him to lay these trees up, being the support in the position that he is. So now Patima will get himself out of there as Strike pushes out the creep wave. An MKB, a Basher, and a Battle Fury, allowing him to push really efficiently and really quickly. Patima, meanwhile, you can create destroy trees in 5 seconds. Knows where that one is, though, but he might not even get the chance to destroy it. Dust being popped. Last will get rid of the tree with his last dying breath, and then get taken out by a dagger to the back. Strike with another kill there. And Dire holding on to that bottom tower, but the mid being pushed in. Back up pretty healthy because of that living armor. And now, looks like, was that an overgrowth? No, it was not. A leash comes out onto Strike. A paralyzing cask, also getting the stuns out. And the Radiant will hightail it up back on out of there. Not losing anything, not really gaining anything off of that one, but the slow constant push is pretty decent.
For the twins.
Uh-oh. Is that another particle effect bug that we're going to see here? Looks like it. Can we get rid of those at all? No, it looks like we can't. Okay. So now we see a constant leash on to Phantom Assassin. Man, replays are getting really bugged nowadays. Last game, I had 2 snowballs constantly sitting right here. That was interesting. So I guess Strike in through the top. A lot of damage coming out, but neither team really able to push off of this. They need to win a fight as Roshan ends up coming back out. I imagine Ursa can take that one really quickly, but he needs to be able to get to it first off. Gypsy Danger putting up another tree there. Danil, meanwhile, with a Shadow Blade, is spotted out. It looks like they want to go onto him. But they don't really have the follow-up if they were to stun him out with the overgrowth. And again, Patima getting rid of that tree, as it looks like Radiant are going to go for the Roshan this time. They should get it. I don't really see how Dire can defend this one. And instead, they'll back themselves up, looking like they don't really have a plan here. Danil, does he go under exclamation? That's kind of an awkward attempt for him here. He's going to do some pretty decent damage. The Necronomicon's also coming, but the living armor keeping exclamation alive. And now free gold going the way of the Dire team in the form of these Necronomicons here. You can see, yep, 200 gold each one. Exclamation taking a bit of damage from that, though. And in comes Secret. This might actually be a kill here. He needs one more right click. Should be able to get it off. But, oh no, the move speed is a little bit too great. In comes the Swarm, but it will not connect. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, where kills are actually happening, Patima will go down to Cytotoxic. Again, these dusts are really paying off right here. Every single time Patima's tried to get away, a dust, a dust, a dust. And we talked about it. The risk of that Shadow Blade is the dust. The benefit, there is no cooldown if you get hit, like a blink. Again, the drawback is dusts. If enemy buys them, you don't get away. So back to Roshan. It is Hot Pot and Secret. Again, they can definitely take it. And it looks like they'll make very quick work of this one, as Secret just absolutely laying into it. We'll bring it down, and looks like, does he get the Aegis here? He will probably drop his magic wand for it. This is a Roshan, Aegis, and Cheese. Cheese will go the way of Hot Pot, maybe? Nope. Secret also grabbing the Cheese. Okay. Meanwhile, Vanilla shooting, going again for these really aggressive plays, but having to back himself out before he takes that much damage. Not really dealing it out this time either.
What's with all the scribbling?
But Radiant, they have opportunity to push. They're down 1, but 15 seconds and Nature's Prophet is back up. The big thing here, though, is that this map is pretty heavily warded by the Treant Protector. I mentioned how much trouble he'd have giving these out. But now it doesn't really matter, and Jesus. That's just brutal. That's so metal it hurts. Between all these particle effects, things are getting pretty strange on the map here. But we'll just have to deal with it for the time being. Basher out by the Slark. Looks like maybe he can try to find a little bit more in terms of pickoffs. He's going to go again on Exhibition. No, this time he goes in the Strike. Has an MKB, has a Basher, but then comes Cytotoxic. They can't spot him out yet because of the Shadow Dance, but now they get it. And it goes Dota playtime as well. The RP catches 2.
Dire's bottom tower's getting the business.
What a kill. Strike getting both of them there. And geez, these fights are not going in Radiant's favor. I would be hard-pressed to think they have any advantage left at this point. They do not. Okay, well, they've got the experience advantage, about 10,000 for the Dire, but Radiant, they've got a 7,500 gold. And looking pretty good in that respect. But we're 49 minutes into this game, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be slowing down, or at least, I guess, speeding up anytime soon. Neither team really pushing off of these fights instead. Just kind of letting what happens. Goes to hit some creeps, and then that's about it. We've got a bit of a paralyzing cast out, but Secret chasing out onto Gypsy Danger. Not going to find him for the kill, though.
That's 4 in a row.
What's this? Phantom Assassin. Okay. Hot Pot goes down. Phantom Assassin getting a 1687 crit off that. Strike will go down, though. Secret is happy to bring him down. Little bit of vengeance for his Witch Doctor there. 3,300 gold for the Weaver as well. Could be going straight into the Daedalus. Lots of damage potentially coming out. Bloodseeker's going to abandon. What's this? Fatima, meanwhile, taking so much damage it hurts.
Guess what's happening to
And Dire, they're now playing 4v5. That's very unfortunate for the Radiant here. I mean, if their pushes haven't been working out very well initially, now they're just going to get really gimped. And I wasn't even letting him disconnect for 5 minutes. He just flat out left. I have to imagine that the team chat was going crazy at one point for that to happen. Regardless, though, Radiant will do their best to defend this one, 4v5, but the Dire's now on the offensive for the first time in what seems to be the entire game. Cytotoxic in a little bit of trouble. Danila Shuin's getting blown to bits, though. Pops himself in the Shadow Dance. He's going to go ahead and get RP'd up. But Secret gets himself away. Very low amount of HP. Danila Shuin, though, is not going to be as lucky. Hot Pot securing the escape with a mid-tier 3, or mid-tier 2, taking a lot of damage here. And the GG already flying out, unofficially, of course. The Dire, though, are up onto the high ground. What's this? A death ward. They have any way of canceling this one. They finally will get it out with the skewer, bring down Hot Pot. And now they go back in for this tier 3 tower. Cytotoxic is very low, though. Does not have an Aegis to his name. Secret goes in and just right-clicks him down. Or Kenny, Secret taking a lot of damage from this. He'll time-lapse out. He'll grab a double kill, maybe even a triple here. Exclamation points trying to run away here. Patima's in close by as well, but this Razor is way too fast.
Taking hits.
They'll throw off the swarm, but that's about all they can do. But it's a major chase going on here. They won't be able to catch up to this Razor. I mean, Weaver moves pretty high move speed here, 522, but... Or sorry, Weaver. They will bring down the Razor finally, though. They'll also get the Courier. And Strike, it looks like he wanted to go in for a short amount of time, but won't end up doing it. What a turnaround from the Radiant there as they defend their racks with almost no time, or with just one or two heroes. This Weaver is looking pretty huge. 3,100 gold. He's got the Daedalus, he's got the MKB, he's got the Desolator. Perhaps we see a Divine Rapier coming out from this Weaver. Looks like, though, with 2 tier 1s left standing in the lanes top and bottom, it's going to be very hard for Dire to continue to push out. Perhaps they can bring down the mid racks, but that's about it. They have a lot of work cut out for them to do the other two. And it looks like Weaver is going to be going for the Lincoln Sphere, so not going balls to the wall just yet. But I guess you could call Lincoln Sphere a ball. Slark. Not much in terms of anything. He has that MKB. But that's about it with the Basher looking, I guess, towards the Abyssal Blade. What's Patima looking at, though? We haven't looked at him in a while. He's got the Desolator, he's got the Necronomicon, the Ags, the Silver Edge. We'll probably be getting rid of his Hand of Midas for his next item, though I can't imagine what it's going to be. Perhaps maybe a Mjolnir to help out with his push, maybe give some attack speed. Mjolnir is also pretty good for the team fight side of it, too. But they'll push up to the high ground, get some damage on this tower. But as it stands right now, it's a very slow push coming out from the Radiant side. Again, they're playing this one 4v5. Not even moving their Bloodseeker. I mean, even sending him to the Ancient Pit to stack it, farm it, stack it, all that kind of stuff will probably be more efficient use of his time, but
the Dire best
not
do
going
something
for that.
about that bottom tower.
Slow him back down. Half the map warded by the Treon's trees. And now Danila shooting, makes his way in. But it looks like he's the one taking the majority of the damage here. So he'll back himself out. I can't get over these crit damage counts here. 1,700 damage from the Phantom Assassin. That is absolutely brutal. Is our little blood particle effect still here? Yes, it is. Again, this map is really doing things to you. I feel like it's an illusion. It's only in my head. At this point in the game, 55 minutes in, the map is playing tricks on me. Regardless, Weaver, very close to his Lincoln Sphere now. Not a lot of gold on top of it, though. So him going down could be pretty devastating. Having no buyback, all that jazz, but looks like we will get a decent amount of damage. The RP comes in. Secret's in a little bit of trouble. You can time-lapse back out of this one. They've got no silence. No way to lock him down further. Meanwhile, looks like, was that a Rupture? No, it wasn't, because there's no Bloodseeker. Sounded like one. Secret, though, getting a lot of his damage stolen. He's got about 230 or 210 still. Kind of funny there, but still, no major pushes coming off of any of these engagements here. After that tier 3 went down to mid, looks like no other pressure was being put on this map anywhere.
Wasn't slippery enough already.
Looks like Patima. What is this, a Refresher's Orb coming out with a Void Stone purchased up? Maybe. Roshan back up in about a minute, 42 seconds is the timer that just popped up. And just like that, I mean, Danil actually might go for a kill, finds Strike, a lot of damage coming out, but can he bring him down? There's nowhere for him to really blink to, and then a bash comes in right as exclamation comes in for the blink. And that's a quick and easy pickoff for the Radiant. Secret will also go ahead, try to find that pick. Exclamation point though, not dropping very low. Cytotoxic is in, but Secret's out. Or is he? Cytotoxic just dives straight on in. And a pause from Strike as they go for a kill. BKB, Cytotoxic gets it. Danil is also in a lot of trouble. He's going to go down as well. The Ursa doing a massive amount of damage here. Patima trying to look to split push this one out, but he's sending his creeps in to try to attack heroes and not the buildings. And Dire getting a pretty big fight off of that one. And they might just be able to push this one out again. 2 down, no buyback. A 3rd down to an abandon. No real way. I mean, Nature's Prophet can try to push, but if they have TPs, they don't really have to worry about it.
Somebody's cooking.
As
Lost so small.
okay, that was a little unexpected, but I guess it happened. Cytotoxic finding a kill by the Roche pit. Still, Roche is actually back up now, which means Cytotoxic may actually be able to go ahead and grab it, but for the time being, he's hanging back, and Dire, they're turtling when they don't exactly need to. Remember, 3 are down with no buyback, and they're just hanging out in their base. It's kind of odd for them. They could probably have gotten a racks off of this one, but they opt not to. And instead, they'll go back, they'll push out their own waves, and that'll be about it. All said and done about that engagement. Oh, okay. Well, there's another particle effect bug here as we approach the 60th minute. I guess you're wondering what the max range on Razor's plasma field is. Well, there you go. Unfortunately for us, that just means things are going to get really, really freaking hectic. Still, it's pretty cool, I guess. Little purple and purple-blue action there. But looks like Exclamation might actually go down here. Taking a lot of damage, takes a fall. And now we're left with a plasma field in this one spot. Oh dear God, that's 90 seconds, by the way, with no buyback. I'm not quite sure how that one slipped by, but he has no buyback for 90 seconds, or isn't coming back for 90 seconds. His buyback, he didn't have enough gold for it. That is very unfortunate. Secret's going to push in through the bottom lane. The rest pushes in through the middle. Patima's also taking out the bottom as well. What has he got here? He went for a sheep stick. So a slice of vice completed onto him. It's going to be an RP though. Catches Patima, catches Danilishu, and they've got the overgrowth as well with a little bit of damage from that. Patima's going to go down, but Danil is hanging out up top. Will back himself away. Patima buys back into the game. No push up top. Strike, meanwhile, will find himself a kill. Brings down Hot Pot. And Patima, with the buyback, comes up top, but there's not enough space for him to continue pushing. Danilishu will go ahead and bring down Cryotoxic. But they'll back up instead of creating and trying to create space for their Nature's Prophet, who gets Abyssal down. He will go ahead, get himself away with the invisibility. Meanwhile, Secret and Danil, looks like they aren't going to push off this one. They do have a big wave pushing into the bottom, though, so maybe they can try to find something here. Refreshers, by the way, purchased by the Magnus. 2 RPs available. The top lane is going to be Danilishu and going after Strike. The bashes are real, but they're both ways. And which one's going to go down first? Strike gets the kill. Danil not going down. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, it looks like Secret wanted to find a tower in the midst of all this action, but wasn't quite able to find it. And another particle effect bug. Okay. Is our plasma field still there, or is it still following Razor? It's still following Razor. All right. That's rather interesting.
A golden thread.
So much happening across the map, it's almost hard to keep track of now with all these particles. Again, a little blood. My favorite one of all of them. She's so subtle. So subtle, yet so metal. Alright, so, I mean, we've got little pushing going on, but overall, pretty much nothing. That's going to be a refreshers bought by Gypsy Danger. This is an Aghanim's Scepter Treon Protector with only 196 CS. Like, all he needs to do is get a ward tree here, and a tree here, maybe get a couple in the Radiant Jungle, because it doesn't look like they're defending or they're dewarding it at all. And that's an easy 20 CS a minute. Okay, maybe not 20, but you get the picture. Add an Octarine Core, maybe it quite is 20 CS, but he's just not using it. And it kind of worries me. Like, all you have to do is keep popping your Overgrowth. Keep the Refresher on cooldown, or off cooldown. Make sure that you have a second Overgrowth when you need it in a fight. But you can get so much farm. I mean, Refreshers, Hexes, having that with the Shiva's Guard, with all that stuff, would be absolutely huge. And what's this? Is this another one? Okay. We're looking at a lot of... Look, nothing's going on. And yet it looks like a major fight is happening. That's just hilarious. So Fatima, standing toe-to-toe with Gypsy Danger, though he doesn't quite know it. And now we see from a mile them coming in. Look at the damage coming on Fatima. They've got the Invince detection onto him. And they'll bring him down in no time at all. Always carry dust, guys. And that Nature's Prophet's down without buyback. Remember, he bought back to push in the top lane, which didn't exactly work out for him.
Roche is gone, courtesy of the Radiant.
So it looks like Roshan will take a false secret again, grabbing the cheese. The Aegis, though, going the way up. Okay, maybe not. Taking his dear sweet time on this one. There we go. Aegis is immortal, on to secret. So they can be aggressive again and try to find another base clear. But we're 63 minutes into this game. And where it seems like this game would have been over, I don't know, 20 minutes ago. I mean, that push in the mid lane, they had a second opportunity to do it and they didn't quite take it. They've been turtling a lot, the Dire, and it doesn't quite seem like it's been that worth it. Satanic finished. On to Phantom Assassin. Another good item coming out. They've got a lot of great items coming out. And they should be able to deal with Slark and Weaver, who have been going pure damage. Not quite a lot of sustain. They're just looking on. I'm just in awe of all of these particle effects, by the way. Like, every time I see it, my jaw just drops. It's looking so fantastic. Looks like we've got a pause coming out. Not totally sure why. So we'll skip ahead. And just wait for the next fight to happen. I mean, at the moment, we can take a look, and the items, again, are just coming out in waves for the Dire team. But as far as their ability to take fights goes, they're really just slow. They're not really being aggressive. They're not taking the fights that I think they know they can win. Meanwhile, Fatima in secret, they're pushing out the bottom lane. Top is being pushed by Danil. And again, we've got a little bit of a slow siege coming out, but I'm not quite sure they can make anything happen because they're not really winning fights. If they can split push out of Raxir, that'd be amazing. But they have to do so. They have to do it fast. So in they go. Danil and Hot Pot up towards the top lane. But there's an Overgrowth locking everyone in place. Fatima in secret taking so much damage. They've got double Overgrowth and they'll spend it. And they grab Secret again in the top lane. It'll go down and bring down Hot Pot as Exclamation chases Danila shooting. But that's 2 down without a buyback. Aegis being spent on the Secret. Does he have a buyback? It looks like he does, so he'll be able to buy back into this game. But that's Slark also going down to nil with no buyback. And the Dire, well, they have to push now. I mean, it's impossible not to push after a fight where you get 3 down with no buyback. 85 seconds doesn't want to spend his buyback. Dota playtime, though. Remember, he did get that abandoned. I'm not quite sure if he can defend this soul. I mean, 1100 HP. He just gets wiped down by 1 auto attack, pretty much. And look at this. Even with a Rupture out, it's doing little to no damage.
The pattern repeats.
And so Weaver will buy back into this game, but he is the only buyback they've got. And last time he was able to hold pretty much solo, but I'm not quite sure he'll be able to do the same thing this time. PA will grab the top tier 1 tower. The rest of them will go in for the mid-racks.
Radiant structures must have been fortified.
In secret, will try to defend on his lonesome. But they've got the dust out. They know when he's coming in. He's got time lapse, but that's about it. The mid-racks will go down. The top tier 2 about to fall. But Strike not really pushing it that fast. The tier 4 is taking a lot of damage. In comes Cytotoxic. They've got the Death Ward doing a pretty decent amount, but gets canceled almost immediately. Hot Pot taking a lot of damage. Secret on the run. The top tier 2 goes down, so the top racks is pretty much open, but they go after the tier 4s, and they will bring them down. But in comes Secret, doing a lot of damage to Cytotoxic. One more right click should be enough. The Overgrowth comes through, though, locking Secret in place. Batima's on the chase. They've got the Hex out and the Gypsy Danger. He should be the first casualty of this fight, but he's still alive. Now he goes down. Strike is in, but the Paralyzing Cask stunning him up. They've got plenty of MKBs. In comes Secret with another kill. And Danil going for more. Finds Strike, but the Basher comes out. Strike taking so much from this. He would go down, but the Satanic, he doesn't pop it. So he'll go down there. They're both down with buyback. They get the mid-racks. They expose, or they almost expose the Ancient.
The Radiant disown their bottom tower.
But that'll be it for now. Again, the 2 down do have buyback. So when they need to, they can come back into the game. I'm not quite sure they will need to, though. I mean, Treant Protector, 11 seconds, he can pop his ultimate, which will pretty much halt any push. Get rid of all the creeps, and that'll be it. All said and done. Speaking of, he's got 251 CS, so progressing pretty nicely compared to where we last saw him. But still leaving a lot to be desired in terms of his farm. I mean, even now, even using it right now would be beneficial. But he'll hold on to it.
Dire structures looking fortified.
A Fortify being used for pretty little to no reason. Gypsy Danger being trapped in the Sprout. We'll go ahead for the double Overgrowth here. He actually pops a Refresher. Does have enough mana for a second one, but won't use it. Radiant, they get the kill onto Exclamation. He does have buyback. 25 seconds before our P is back in. Swerve pops a Refresher, looking for the RP. Will get it off, but it won't do much. There's another Overgrowth. Cytotoxic trying to bring down Patina. One more swipe, 2 more, he will bring him down. Gypsy Danger perfectly alive, and PA will buy back with a couple of seconds left. Gypsy Danger taking a lot of damage. Cytotoxic is going to chase onto Danilishu and blinks himself back, though. And the base will hold for the Dire team, as they use a couple of buybacks. There's only 1 left for each team as far as buybacks go. The rest are pretty much on cooldown or way out of gold range. So, I mean, Bloodseeker will never have a buyback. I mean, not like it makes a difference. He's abandoned, but the push out or the counter push coming quite easily from the Dire. Again, with that Battle Fury, they're able to bring down waves very quickly. Almost wanting to see a Divine Rapier come out from either of these 2 teams, but Secret, he's going for the Heart to Rest, which should help his sustain a little bit. He grabs himself a tier 3 tower, or at least tries to, but the Living Armor keeping it alive. He goes ahead, time-lapses himself back out, but he's taking so much damage. The Bash! He gets the tower, but at what cost? They're going to go for the Death Ward, but the Overgrowth will immediately cancel it, or not immediately. Doesn't get enough damage out, though. And Strike comes in, brings down Hot Pot. Patima on the run. Will get himself away, or at least to the top lane. And Radiant, they're down 2 again. Strike comes in. He wants to nil. Strike has no vision. And so Exclamation and Strike will make their way back down towards the mid lane. The Dire, they can push off this one again. Maybe get the second set of racks or expose the Ancient. Danil, though, going to turn in onto Exclamation. Pops himself in the Shadow Dance, but that's about all he can do. As once he comes out, he's in a little bit of trouble. The Static Link will connect, but it won't last for a very long time, and Slark will get himself away. Meanwhile, another pause. Let's go ahead and skip right past it.
All right, carry on.
And Batima in towards the bottom lane, trying to push this one out again. But once again, Overgrowth will be back up in 5 seconds.
Someone's having technical difficulties.
6,000 gold. I mean, this Treant is their best form of defense right now. We'll see if they can find a kill. It looks like they'll pull Pratima back. They want the overgrowth, but they're not going to spend it. They hold on to it for now. Actually, they use it, but it was out of range. And Pratima gets himself away. Or, sorry, gets sent to the fountain. Not getting himself away. We're 72 minutes into this game, so I guess I'm allowed to kind of lose track in the moment right now. Danil comes back around, looking for a kill, but turns back immediately. Remembering all those times where he just got shut down. Comes back to haunt him. 4,000 gold and Trion. He's going to go for the Assault Cuirass here, but the Dire, they're pushing in. Mid lane and bottom. Could get a couple of easy kills or a couple of easy towers here. They might be able to bring down the tier 4 even. 90 seconds without a Nature's Prophet. But Secret's the real damage dealer here.
Take that.
Doesn't have buyback, doesn't have enough gold for it, and it's on cooldown for another 50 seconds. Strike's got to be very careful not to engage into this Weaver, but it looks like Danil, he wants to make something happen. He'll go in, gets the first hit. It's an MKB, a little bit of a bash proc here. Doesn't actually get a bash, though. Danil comes in, but Secret's doing a hell of a lot of damage. We'll go ahead and bring down Strike. Meanwhile, Swerve, having to get himself away, pops out the Ghost Scepter, gets himself out. At least for the time being, they don't have enough damage to bring him down. Gypsy Danger, though, won't be so lucky. He gets brought down. The Dire going for a desperation push in through the bottom lane. They need to ignore the tier 3s. They just go for the fountain here. But Exclamation, not quite understanding. He goes in, they want to bring down the racks. And actually Secret will come back. They don't go for the base race here. They get the tower. Potentially get the racks. Dota Playtime getting brought down very quickly. And Exclamation running with the Rupture. Taking a pretty decent amount of damage from it. And Secret will go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4. Click him down, but the vision not really working in his favor. There we go. They finally bring him down. The bottom rack's taking a lot of damage. Creeps will spawn in 10 seconds, but 10 seconds is more than enough to bring it down. Or is it? 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, Witch Doctor comes in. Doesn't really matter anyway. They just drop it. Also will turn them all into trees. And Danil goes ahead and pushes into the mid. Now, major thing here is that they're a 3 down with no buyback. Danil should be able to bring down this tower, but in comes Swerve, in comes Cytotoxic as well. Do they have an RP to lock him? They don't even need it to bash! They bring him down. Danil does have buyback, but if he spends it, I mean, he could spend it and push, but I'm not quite sure they can push right now. Pratima into the top lane. He's got that Hex. And they're doing their best. But there are so many ways for the Dire to defend right now. Buyback available on Treant. And he's got the trees everywhere to farm up. Where is the tree on the map? There's a tree on the map right here. But I don't quite see it. I don't see this one either. Okay, I guess that might be a little bit of a bug here. I'm getting all sorts of particle effect bugs. Oh, this one's gone. Are we losing all particle effects? It looks like we might. We got way too many particle effects in the field that we started losing a lot of them. It refreshed them. That's hilarious. For those of you who do not know what I'm talking about, not too long ago, we had Razor's ultimate, or Razor's plasma field sticking around onto him. So we had a constant plasma field around him. Both Ursa and Phantom Assassin had a constant leash on them. There was a little bit of blood right here that's gone now. I'm kind of sad that it is. It was my favorite of them all. But they're all gone. And now they're pushing to the bottom lane. So here comes the RP. Swerve, we're going to make something happen off of it. Doesn't have a refreshers off cooldown yet, and that will pretty much mean nothing. But Secret popping the time lapse anyway. They've got the leech seed off onto him, but that'll be about it. And Dire, they go for the turtle again. Now remember, they do have this mid racks down. Both the top and the bottom racks are exposed. And all down the mid lane, they pretty much got these trees, allowing them to constantly push out this wave despite not having anyone in there to really clear the creep waves. And it looks like another Roshan, another Aegis, another Cheese this time will be going again to Secret. What does he drop this time, though? I imagine maybe the Lincoln Sphere, as it hasn't really been doing too much in this game. But they'll get the Roshan regardless. Is Danil going to grab it? No, don't see what he dropped. I mean, he could drop that Battle Fury. That's kind of an interesting item for him to build up here.
The Radiant put old Roche
They're just
down
kind of like
quick and
letting
clean.
the Aegis and Cheese sit. Maybe they deny both of them. Top lane, they want Patima. They'll go after him. Hot Pot will end up grabbing the Aegis Immortality. And they don't have vision of Patima just yet. This time they don't have a dust. This is almost when you want to buy a gem here, but they don't do it. And they'll lose a kill on Patima. Meanwhile, bottom lane is pushing in. With the Aegis on Hot Pot, I almost imagine he doesn't want to pop ultimate until his Aegis gets popped and then go for the ulti. Meanwhile, Secret, up from the top. The Lincoln Sphere does break the Hex. Alright, so I guess that's what the Lincoln Sphere is doing here, and will get himself away. Gem of True Sight purchased on the Magnus. I guess heeding my my suggestion here. And now in the bottom lane, they find Hot Pot. They're using a lot onto him, but he does have that Aegis Immortality. Now they can bring him down almost immediately again. They've got plenty of ways to cancel the Death Ward. It doesn't look like they're going to chase him just yet. Strike? Nope, he will. 2,002 damage. Okay, that's a lot. Patima, meanwhile, will push into the top against Cytotoxic, who goes in, immediately hexes. They'll bring him down very quickly here. But in the bottom lane, it looks like the push is coming from Danil and Secret. Backdoor protection is down, so they can push, but they're going to face heavy opposition. As in comes Swerve, they pop in the RP. They've got the double Eye of the Storm as well. They're bringing them all down. So much damage, a second RP. And all four will hit the deck. Two immediately buy back, though. There's Nature's Prophet. They both actually go into the top lane. Okay, fine. Secret just goes into the top lane. Pings come out, though. They want to make sure he doesn't push in. Now, the double RP is gone. They don't even have one of them. And the double Eye of the Storm is also gone. But they do have an Overgrowth. Almost a double in 15 seconds. So will they grab him now? Leech Seed will pop his Lincoln Sphere. And he gets himself away. So once again, major fight, nothing of it. But this time, I feel both teams. Neither one really able to push off that one. The Dire doing a very good job at holding onto their base. They've got double ultimates galore, allowing them to take these sort of fights here. And, I mean, what do you do when you're a Weaver, when you're a Slark, and you just get perma-locked down the entire fights? Well, the short answer would be don't get RP'd. That's the major thing. But if you just let yourself get out of position for 1 second, the Treant Protector can overgrowth you, and then the RP is imminent. So they're pushing through the bottom lane here, courtesy of Patima, but he needs to be very careful. They've got plenty of ways to bring him down. Zipsy Danger, meanwhile, toe-to-toe with Secret, though Secret doesn't know it yet. And Patima trying to TP himself out of there will get away. Just like that. Again, very slow, very concise movements. Okay, fine. Concise isn't the right word, but I mean, moving around, trying to farm across the map, I guess, trying to push whatever they can, but as it stands right now, Radiant have a really uphill battle. And I mean, I don't mean that just literally going uphill. I mean that as in trying to win this game against all of these overgrowths, all of these RPs. Now the Razor has a heart on top of having a double Eye of the Storm. I mean, I think we're pretty nearly all 6 slotted. Okay, fine. Magnus does not, but it looks like... Is this an Ethereal Blade coming out from him? Treant Protector's got a pretty decent amount of gold on his name. But then again, those overgrowths are netting quite a bit of CS for him. And so, Wrath of Nature comes down from Patima. Only's got one of them. He went for that Hex again, so he doesn't have the double Wrath. But he's going to push in with those Treants. And Overgrowth comes through, though, and again, just brings down every bit of this push. And Patima! 120 seconds! Hot Pot on the run, but they have that gem. And now RP number 1. They do not have RP number 2, though. 20 seconds, but Gypsy Danger, has his Overgrowth, and they'll bring him down with that. A Shadow Dance in for Danila shooting. But I'm not sure he gets away from this one. They'll go ahead, they'll Leech Seed him up. He's trying to run, trying to hide, but he's got an invisibility. So he gets himself away, but the gem from Swerve turns around, unleashes onto him, tries to force staff away, but one more swipe, the gem hits the deck. In comes Strike, though. They've got the Orchid. Can they find the damage, though? They will. And Danil, he could go down here. It looks like he might leap himself away, but he's got nowhere to run. Or does he? Playing them for suckers right now, and he's got another invisibility. They pick up the gem, but they can't do anything with it. He's long gone. Secret, though, might not be so lucky. He's got Scoochie in 1 second, trying to get away, and he will do so. And just like that, slippery, slippery, Radiant side. Getting themselves away when it matters most. And I mean, that's the importance of having all these double ultimates at the ready. Now 120 seconds without Gypsy Diver's second overgrowth, but he's got the first one, and that's all he needs. 4.5 seconds of lockdown is massive. And Danil makes his way in, wants exclamation. In comes Cytotoxic. Will start laying it into Danil, but he's got the Shadow Dance again, but can't find anyone get the damage off. They have every idea of where he is with that static link. Does he have an invis again? He will. Who has a gem? No one's got the gem. At least no one close.
Invisibility.
They're holding on to it. It looks like it's going to be Gypsy Danger with a Gem of True Sight. Dire's grouped up in the mid, though, looking for a push. But everyone's back. A lot of people at buyback. Everyone on the Dire team is buyback right now. No one on the Radiant team has it. That's a major issue. I think Dire, if they were to know this, they'd definitely take a fight right now. But I don't think they do. So it looks like at the moment, Dire will be happy to just kind of sit back again.
Oh, look at it go.
Not really make any sudden movements. And 83 minutes into this game. I mean, last game we had a 75-minute Techies game. And I thought that was draining. But we're 83 minutes into this game. And I can't say I see a clear winner yet. And that's frustrating. I mean, we're looking at this game. Anyone can win it, which means this game could go another 20 minutes. And I wouldn't even know it yet. I have no idea what happens. I go into all these games blind. Absolutely. Oh, hold on. We got another blood spurt. This is what I was talking about. This was in the mid lane. I love it. A little blood fountain. Any other odd particle effects happening across the map? Doesn't quite look like it. Oh, it's back. It's back in the mid. Oh, wait. If it's back, shouldn't the trees all be back? Or is that just a separate occasion? I guess it's just a separate occasion. All right. Overgrowth now. Hitting on the secret. They'll lock him down. They get the bash. He time-lapses himself away. But that bash being absolutely amazing for them. Can they continue to chase on him, though? It does not look like it. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, looks like Danila Shootin's going to go in, try to lay into this tower. Exclamation. RP number 1 will only catch Hot Pie. He skewers back and misses. Can't get RP number 2, though. He goes for it, and they bring them both down. Slark just getting the buyback, by the way, so he will have it for this. Meanwhile, Secret, Hemp in the top lane, trying to push out, but he's being closed in by Strike and Gypsy Danger. They've got the Orchid, and they can chase onto him. Another Strike, but can they bring him down? The bash comes out. They've got the vision. They bring him down. No buyback. Meanwhile, Patima goes down elsewhere. And now they can push again. Maybe they can even push the end. Buyback from Patima and Secret. Oh, wait, they all got their buybacks all of a sudden. All right, that's kind of convenient, I guess. Where are we at, though? I mean, do we have a double ultimate? We do not have a double ultimate for exclamation, so. A lot of salt going across the map here. Okay, Strike getting a quick and easy kill on Patima. No buyback. 120 seconds. Slark will buy back, though. And backdoor protection about to go down. They can just Mega Creeps. I have no idea what Exclamation's doing all the way up here. He does have a Boots of Travel, though, so he should be making his way into the lane. It looks like he will do so, as Strike will bring down Danil. No, Danil in the Shadow Dance. Starts laying into Strike, but they've got the Guardian Greaves. And now Danil and Elantra wants to leap himself away. Meanwhile, Secret doing what damage he can, but Strike goes in and finds the kill. 120 seconds without a Weaver. They just go in. There's one Iron Storm, not two, but that appears to be it. 86 minutes into this game. And even Danil cannot defend this one. I think that's it, guys. Finally. It looks like this Ancient will go down. Well played to both teams, but Dire will be the victor after, again, 86 minutes of play. Oh boy, I think I gotta have to take a break after that one. But guys, I will be back. Well, that's a pretty good drop. I will be back for more. I'm going to go ahead and can't stop this replay here and go on to my next. So we'll catch you all next time.